Do you know how much Sakura respects Yamato Endo? Or what about Hayato Suo? How much respect does Sakura have for his right-hand man? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in today's video. We'll give each character a percentage of how much Sakura respects them, starting with the ones who he respects the least, and working our way up to the ones he respects the most. So let's get right into it with the first character, Spaltip's leader. Yeah, we don't even know this guy's name, we only know that Sakura has absolutely 0% respect for him. He leads the gang called Spaltips, and Sakura straight up hates him. Like, Sakura literally told him he made him sick, because nothing ticks Sakura off more than weak punks who act tough, especially the kind who harass random girls trying to look cool. So yeah, he deservedly got his face rearranged by Sakura not once, but twice. Moving on, let's talk about Yamato Endo, the monster from Noroshi who's actually all the way up at 50%. When Sakura first met Endo, he had no clue who he was. Yep, he was the only guy who didn't know about the legend of Yamato Endo from Furin High. And Sakura thought he was a trashy, irresponsible a-hole. Why? Because Endo was behind the scenes off the whole fight between Gravel against Rappo Ichiza and Bofurin. Still, when they first met, Sakura could sense that Endo's strength was no joke. And the next time they met, they threw down in one of the craziest fights in the whole series. It's a brutal back-and-forth brawl, but in the end, Sakura is the winner. And that's when we see that Sakura actually respects Endo a lot, as he helps him up and walks him to the rooftop to watch the fight between Umemiya and Takiishi. But yeah, on the way to the rooftop, Endo literally says that he fell for Sakura, and he obviously got red in the face as usual, but then he said he didn't mind becoming friends and chatting sometimes, although only sometimes, as Endo got hyped thinking they could talk every second of every day. Next up, we've got our first Bofurin member, and that's Saku Mizuki, one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, who Sakura actually only has 60% respect for. Sure, Sakura knows Mizuki is strong, but he thinks he's really annoying. Like, right before the Noroshi War, Mizuki was in charge of the big strategy meeting, and as Mizuki's a total military nerd, instead of just saying midnight, he told everyone to meet at 0000 hours. Sakura got so confused and even told him he was stupid and made everything confusing. Then when Nirei explained to Sakura that Mizuki saw them all as soldiers, Sakura got even more annoyed and said, "But we aren't soldiers." Anyways, going from 60 to 85%, we've got the leader of Gravel, Shuhei Suzari. At first, Sakura didn't like Suzuri at all. I mean, Suzuri and his gang were out to capture Shizuka, so yeah, not exactly a great first impression. But after Suzuri's fight with Tsubakino, they all became friends. And since then, Sakura has actually been hanging out with Suzuri and the Gravel guys, and even playing video games with them, though Sakura always loses and Suzuri tells him that he sucks. Still, Sakura showed how much he respected Suzuri when he asked him to help Bofurin in the war against Noroshi. So that's why we see Suzuri and Gravel pull up during the fight, as they are good friends. Now let's move on to another gang leader. This time it's Kanji Nakamura, the boss of Rappo Ichiza, at 90%. Sakura was seriously impressed by Kanji's strength and speed, even saying he was way above your average street fighter. And when Kanji charged in to take on Gravel and declared he was going to protect his city, Sakura thought Kanji was just like Umemiya. Strong, confident, and a great leader. Although Sakura gets super annoyed when Kanji treats him like his little brother, he still respects him a lot. Which is why he asked Kanji and Rappo Ichiza to help take down Noroshi, just like he did with Suzuri. Next up, we've got Masaki Anzai at 95%. We all know Sakura really cares about Anzai, as we saw him stepping in to help him rescue his childhood friend Nagato from KEEL, and since then, they became close friends. But that said, although they're friends, Anzai gets on Sakura's nerves all the time. Like, he's always in the corner with his crew teasing Sakura for fun, though it usually ends with Sakura punching them. Like one time, they even dumped a whole bucket of water on him, and yeah, Sakura wanted to kill them. Still at 95%, let's talk about Kyotaro Sugisha. Yeah, you probably thought Sugishita would be way lower than this, right? I mean, these two argue and fight about literally everything since day one, and Sakura even said Sugishita pisses him off and is a total pain in the ass. But that said, these two have grown really close, and they now see each other as friends. Sugishita had like 5 whole chapters where he just couldn't bring himself to say that he thought Sakura was cool during his fight with Endo. Yeah, seriously. Anyway, although Sakura won't say it out loud, he definitely respects Sugishita a lot. Like during their fight against Noroshi's Hashirao, Sakura set him up so Sugishita could land the final blow, as he trusts his strength and knows he can count on him in a fight. Another character who Sakura respects at 95% is Ren Kaji. Although at first Kaji yelled at Sakura for being too slow to step up as grade captain and even punched him in the face during the KEEL fight to get his head in the game. So yeah, Sakura didn't really like Kaji in the beginning. He even thought Kaji was a weak grade captain for relying so much on his classmates. But that changed when Kaji explained that he was chosen as grade captain not because he was the strongest, but because people believed in him for who he is. And from that point on, Sakura started to respect him. Then, after watching Kaji go all out and take down KEEL's leader and showing what it really means to be a grade captain, Sakura wanted to talk to Kaji and learn more about him, and how he's such a good grade captain. And Kaji told him that he at first also struggled with the same fears as Sakura, fearing rejection and trying to do everything alone, telling him to accept help from others. And after all that, Sakura realized that Kaji really understood him, and he sees Kaji as a great leader and a true friend. Now, we finally get to the first character who Sakura respects at 100%, and that character is Toma Hiagi. Sakura respected Hiragi right from the start, as Hiragi jumped in and saved him from getting smacked with a bat, and he then showed off his insane strength by literally snapping the bat in half. Talking about Hiragi's strength, these two usually spar together to get stronger, as Sakura knows he can go all out and Hiragi can handle it. On top of his strength, Sakura sees Hiragi as a true friend, and someone he cares about a lot. That said, he usually doesn't listen to Hiragi, which does drive him insane at times. Another character at 100% is Taiga Tsugura. As Tsugeura is, well, loud, energetic, super sporty, and always way too close in Sakura's personal space, Sakura literally said that the guy was suffocating because of how loud and close he gets. But, as Tsugeura is part of Sakura's main gang, they're always hanging out, and Sakura sees him as a really close friend. And when Tsugeura later tells Sakura that he will 100% help him reach the top of Bofurin, Sakura was genuinely happy that Tsugeura believed in him that much, and saw him as a future leader. Next up, we've got Mitsky Kiru, also at 100%. Sakura cares about Kiryu a lot. Like when Akari, Kiryu's sister, tells the guys to take care of her brother, Sakura instantly tells her that he will, and says that Kiryu is a good guy. And after Kiryu had a fight with his dad and was clearly feeling down, Sakura remembered something from his own past, so he straight up went to the mall to buy that stuffed animal Kiryu had been looking at before. Yeah, seriously. And when Kiryu found out his sister had been tricked by some scumbag who tried to rob her, he went to handle it. But of course, Sakura showed up too, knowing exactly where Kiryu would go because he didn't want his friend to fight alone. So yeah, Kiryu is one of Sakura's absolute best friends, and he will do anything to keep his friend happy. And when Kiryu told him he'd carry Sakura to the top of Bofurin, he got really happy. Another Bofurin member we need to talk about, and one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, is Tasuku Tsubakino at 100%. Although Sakura was shocked when he found out Tsubakino was actually a guy, he respected Tsubakino for who he is and didn't have a problem with how he dressed or anything, which of course made Tsubakino blush like crazy. Anyway, after spending a lot of time together, like helping Old Man Ito, fighting side by side against Gravel, and Tsubakino sharing personal stories, they became really close, and Sakura sees Tsubakino as a really good friend. Oh, and he also respects Tsubakino's insane strength, especially after watching Tsubakino's fight with Suzuri. But yeah, he does get overwhelmed when Tsubakino always wants to hug him. Talking about Bofurin, let's talk about Bofurin's leader, Hajime Umemiya, who's also at 100%. When Sakura first met Umemiya, he honestly thought he was an idiot. I mean, if you don't know him, he can come off as pretty dense. But the second Umemiya got serious, Sakura literally couldn't move from his aura, and this is what he saw. So that's when Sakura realized how terrifyingly strong Umemiya really was. And then, after seeing Umemiya's strength and resolve during his fight against Choji, Sakura was so impressed. And throughout the series, Umemiya and Sakura talk a lot. And after all these talks, Sakura started to understand why everyone's so drawn to Umemiya, and he came to truly respect him, not just for his strength, but for his leadership. And Sakura took all of Umemiya's words and mentorship to heart. And although Sakura at first wanted to take the top spot at Bofurin, he now sees that's impossible, as he knows Umemiya is way stronger than him, not just physically, but also as a leader. Sakura even asked himself, will I ever grow to be more like him? Not only that, but Sakura also said, the reason why I am who I am and the reason this place is how it is all because of him. So he not only respects Umemiya, he also looks up to him in awe. Next up, we've got Hayato Suo, and he's at 100%. Sure, Sakura says Suo's always full of crap, and that he's constantly teasing him. Like when they first met and Suo straight up told him his name was Leonardo DiCaprio, and yeah, Sakura actually believed it. Still, Sakura sees Suo as his right-hand man, trusts him and his decisions, and truly respects Suo as one of his absolute best friends, but also as a strong fighter. And don't forget, Suo was one of the first people Sakura ever called by name, and that says a lot. Yeah, there's nothing more to say really. These two are just best friends. Moving on, we've got the second-in-command at Shishitoren, Joe Togame, at 100%. Now, these two really didn't like each other at first, as Sakura couldn't stand how Togame treated his own guys, like kicking and jacket-skinning the Shishitoren member who got knocked out by Sakura and Sugishita. But once they started throwing hands in their fighting match between Shishitoren and Bofurin, everything changed, as Sakura and Togame had a conversation with their fists. And as they fought, Sakura actually wanted to learn more and understand Togame, and eventually, they not only started to have fun in their fight, they also started to truly respect each other. And that's why, when Choji blasted Togame into the wall, Sakura was ready to punch him in the face. But yeah, it's good Umemiya stopped him, otherwise Choji would have absolutely wrecked him. Anyway, Sakura and Togame are now really good friends, and Sakura sees Togame as a really strong fighter, but he also sees him as someone he can count on, which is why Sakura didn't hesitate to ask him to fight by his side against Noroshi. Now, let's talk about Kotoha, who Sakura also has 100% respect for. Out of everyone in the series, Kotoha might be the person Sakura cares about the most. Like even back in episode 1 of season 1, when Sakura was still only a punk who didn't care about anything or anyone except being the top of Bofurin, he still stepped in to protect her, and literally almost took a bat to the face just so she wouldn't get hurt. And since then, Sakura has become a regular at her cafe, having breakfast there all the time. Like the other first years even tease him for always being there. Anyway, Sakura really likes to hang out with Kotoha, and she is one of the few people Sakura really opens up to. She reminds him that he's not alone, that people do care about him, and that she'll always be there to listen. So he sees her as one of his best friends, and he's really happy that she actually cares about him so much. Reaching the last guy Sakura respects at 100%, we've got Akihiko Nirei. Even though Sakura said Nirei is a scaredy cat who can't throw a good punch and sticks his nose in everyone's business, Nirei is his absolute best friend. Yeah, seriously. Like remember when Sakura was drowning during his fight with Endo, feeling like he couldn't protect his friends? It's Nirei's hand we see holding on to him. And we can all see just how much Sakura cares about him. Like that time Nirei had bruises from training with Suo, and Sakura wanted to know who hurt him. Yeah, probably so he could kill him. Sakura might get annoyed at him sometimes, but he's admitted that Nirei is such a good guy, he doesn't even know how to deal with it. And he's so grateful that Nirei is always by his side, always has his back, and was the very first person to vow to help him reach the top of Bofurin. How much would Sakura respect you? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and watch this video next.